Perkins burger, fries, and pie combos are back, starting at just $10.99. Mix and match any of our 100% Angus beef burgers, like our barbecue Tangler burger, breakfast burger, and the all-new Smokehouse Bacon Double Cheeseburger. Served with crispy fries and a slice of any of our famous Perkins pies. And don't forget to order seasonal treats from our bakery, like our fresh-baked pumpkin pies and muffins. Order online at perkinstogo.com.
We're paying more for food, gas, and rent. But Tony Evers wants to take even more of our money. He tried to raise the gas tax by 20% and double the tax on our heating bills. Evers wanted to use our tax dollars to pay people who refuse to work. And he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to those who entered our country illegally. Evers even opposed drug testing for those getting welfare. We just can't afford 4 more years of Tony Evers.
Straight ahead on Newswatch 12 at 5, concussions are a risk in contact sports. We'll explain what to do if you suspect a concussion. Plus, a man convicted of sexually assaulting a student was back in court. We'll have the latest on his new trial. And Merrill is receiving recognition for its trail system. We'll have the details as your local news starts now.
Your local news and weather from where you live.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Jessica Jukic. We're live from the Hodag Dome tonight as our studio is undergoing some renovations. The Hodag Dome, if you don't know, the Hodag Dome is owned by the Rhinelander School District. It allows for all youth practices by athletic teams and more opportunities for physical education. Local people also use the dome year-round to stay active. The dome has already hosted tournaments, bringing some revenue into the district. Well, it's a cool day throughout the Northwoods, and we're luckily inside, not within the elements.
Yeah, temperatures outside right now, Jessica, are in the low 40s across our area. Far cry from yesterday, but it's football night, right? And that's going to happen this evening if you're heading out tonight. The rain and light snow are now gone, flurries this morning, but the bleachers are going to be incredibly cold. We're talking game time temperatures in the 30s and then heading down into the low 20s for low temperatures tonight. So overall, a dry but cool night ahead. All right, out there right now, temperatures are hanging out in the low 40s across our region. That is not normal. The average high being 59. Nobody did that today, so we're looking pretty good there, right? Clear skies across southern Wisconsin now, but northern central Wisconsin, lots of cloud cover. And again, there were a couple flurries and sprinkles throughout the day. Those are now falling apart right now. Nothing but clear skies to the west of us for tomorrow means lots of sunshine throughout the day tomorrow. Our forecast then tonight, though, is decreasing clouds, very cool, with low temperatures down here 21. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. 3 people were killed and a pedestrian was injured after a police pursuit ended in a crash in Milwaukee on Thursday. Milwaukee police officers were pursuing a vehicle believed to be involved in drug dealing and reckless driving shortly after 6 p.m. Police say they spotted the vehicle taking part in a drug deal when they tried to pull it over. The car drove away towards the 16th Street viaduct before crossing the median and hitting a woman who was walking. The vehicle then lost control and drove off the bridge. According to officials, the car caught fire and 3 people inside the vehicle died at the scene. The pedestrian who was hit was transported to an area hospital with minor injuries. In 2019, a custodian at an Oneida County elementary school was convicted of sexually assaulting a student. But a judge ruled this year that there will be a new trial because of an ineffective counsel. Stavros Iliopoulos was back in court today. He was wearing a headset so the court proceedings could be heard and translated in Greek. During today's pretrial conference, 2 motions were discussed. One that would enable the use of testimony from the first trial from a person who's now deceased. The second motion, this one from the defense, wants the trial to be dismissed altogether. This would get Iliopoulos out of prison. Those 2 motions will be discussed in court on October 27th. A 3-day jury trial is scheduled for mid-December. The Langlade County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing person. 58-year-old Adam Krause of Sheboygan was last seen Friday night. He was leaving Joni and Stubbs East Shore Resort on Rolling Lake in a paddle boat. Krause's paddle boat was found last Saturday on the lake. He was last seen wearing a black and white plaid shirt. This week, multiple agencies conducted air, water, and ground searches around Rolling Lake for Krause. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you can call 715-627-6411. Several crews in the Michigan's Upper Peninsula spent the night battling a large fire at a paper mill. A warehouse in Menominee caught fire around 11 p.m. last night. The warehouse is rented by Resolute Forest Products and contained pulp and waste paper. Multiple crews responded to that fire. The Stevenson Fire Department says its 65-foot aerial boom was used to suppress flames, while another fire department continuously supplied them with water. All prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession have now been pardoned by President Biden. The president's sending simple federal marijuana possession offenses up in smoke and beginning the process of potentially loosening federal classification of the drug that currently puts them on the same level as heroin and LSD.
So I'm asking the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to initiate a process to review how marijuana is scheduled under federal law.
The president's also suit with similar pardons at the state level. New unemployment numbers are out this morning. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports the economy added 263,000 jobs in September. That's slightly higher than 250,000 economists estimated. Unemployment also showed improving numbers. The rate fell from 3.7% to 3.5%. The report also noted job gains occurred in leisure, hospitality, and healthcare. Workers at the Janesville Culvers prevented a robbery by simply closing a drive-through window. The Janesville Police Department responded to an attempted robbery call at the local Culvers. Thursday night, according to a press release, the unidentified male approached the drive-through window in a red Jeep. The driver handed a worker a note demanding money. The workers then shut the window on the man and he drove off in an unknown direction. The Ice Age Trail runs 1,200 miles across Wisconsin. Merrill is the latest local city to be selected as an Ice Age Trail community. The trail runs between Minnesota border near Minneapolis to the Sturgeon Bay in Door County. There are 17 Ice Age Trail communities. The program helps municipalities take advantage of their location along the trail as an economic and social engine. Merrill recently received that designation, joining Anago and Rib Lake in our area. There'll be activities this weekend celebrating that designation. There will be a 3-mile fall color hike exploring the Grandfather Trail segment starting at 10 a.m. Then in the afternoon, there will be a ribbon cutting celebration at Sawmill Brewing Company at 4:30. Concussion and athletes are extremely common. According to a study, 3.8 million concussions occur each year in the U.S. from sports-related injuries. Newswatch 12's Mohammed Abdul Kawi spoke to a physician and has more.
Concussions represent a whole spectrum of injury to the brain.
The brain controls nearly everything in the human body. Also, it's extremely sensitive and delicate. Dr. Jason Lowry, an orthopedic surgeon for Aspire, says a hard hit to the head can cause a concussion.
That spectrum can be anything from a mild headache that's just a day or two long to permanent dysfunction.
While concussions are more common in hard contact sports like football or boxing, athletic trainer Ashley Rotier says anybody can get a concussion.
You can get this walking down the street, running into, a bird feeder hanging off of a branch that you didn't see, or hitting yourself with a door if you open it really fast and you end up hitting yourself in the head, which sounds crazy, but those are mechanisms that I've had before.
Aspire's health systems take concussion protocol seriously. Trainer Ryan Flynn believes that what they're doing to help limit student athletes from getting hurt is making a difference.
You're allotted only 20 to 30 minutes full contact a week during practice, for example. So they're limiting your amount of time that you can hit fully, have full contact in practice. Secondarily, obviously, equipment's improving. Helmets are improving. They're getting more padding in them. They're getting more air.
Sports won't last forever. Rotier and Flynn hopes that the students of the Northwoods can live a fun, healthy lifestyle when they grow up.
Concussions have been a huge topic, and such things as the Tua incident can bring it to the forefront. Sports is a very small portion of their life, and that our number one thing with them is make sure they live a fully functioning adult life and are healthy.
Reporting in Rhinelander, Mohammed Abdulkawi, Newswatch.
Stevens Point will be a golf hub next year. Coming up on Newswatch 12, we'll show you how volunteers are preparing for that large event. That's after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michaels.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Qualified lessees can use $1,000 engine lease cash to get this Silverado for around $449 a month, or get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale and get the best for free. Through Saturday, get free installation on our best-selling carpet, free estimates, and interest-free financing. That's right. Free carpet installation, free estimates, and interest-free financing. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center. Come see why contractors and designers choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs. And get the best for free.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
Sure is nice to have my 3 older kids home to visit.
Oh yeah, I love coming home. I missed having soft water.
That's why I bring my laundry home on the weekend.
It's so much better for my hair too, but you wouldn't know anything about that, Corey.
And that's why my hair looks so nice and moisturized.
What do you know about moisturized hair?
Well, having 2 older sisters and a brother who only showers a couple times a week helps.
Well, actually, 72 years of treating water in Wisconsin is our family story. You kids are pretty well versed in water.
So let us make your family's water better today.
When it happened, he was the boss.
These allegations span over 2 decades.
Women at Tim Michaels' company say they were pressured to have sex with their supervisors.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline.
And sexually harassed.
The female worker was given a sex toy and pornographic images for her birthday.
If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' agenda is radically wrong.
The weekend is here, and you know what? A bit cool this morning, right? A couple of snow flurries out there. This squirrel has the right idea. If Derek could take graphics for me. And he's hiding his nuts because it was a cold morning and even a cold night tonight. We'll have low temperatures down in the low 20s for lows this evening. But overall, a very fall-like weekend on deck for us. Football games tonight, no rain, no snow, but there will be cool temperatures, game time temperatures in the 30s, kind of leveling off in the mid to low 20s for low temperatures after midnight tonight. Okay, out there right now, we're talking about temperatures hanging out in the 40s. You know, that's not normal. The average high is 59 or so, and none of us did that today. The average low is 37. That was close to our high today, by the way. And here's what the atmosphere can do. 19 back in 1953, and the sun sets soon at 6:27 this evening. Okay, so the trend going forward, this is going to be a short-lived cool spot, right? Tomorrow back up near 56, Sunday 58, and then kind of hanging out near 60 or so on Monday. And look at that, Tuesday we're talking about temperatures reaching for 70 again. Now, you know, it's going to be one day only of that, which is typical this time of the year. We get these surges of cold air followed by a warm spell, then a cold front comes through. and you get a cool spot again. And that's likely going to happen again for us next week on Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures next week, Thursday and Friday, back into the low 50s. Okay, looking outside right now in Rhinelander, lots of clouds out there, so there's still some instability across our region. The air above us is incredibly cold and still some moisture down here at the surface. You get some sunshine that begins to bubble up, and that could give us a couple areas of cloud cover. We have that out there now, but that cloud cover will fall apart tonight, and that's bad news bears for temperatures because we're going to have lows tonight down to the low 20s with that radiational cooling. Looking outside now, though, the cloud cover is beginning to break up. Now keep happening tonight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's going to be filled with lots of sunshine. Back off to the west, there's that dry line, right, across parts of western Minnesota. Moving our direction. So once that crosses through tonight, temperatures are going to drop like a rock into the low 20s or so this evening. So Futurecast shows the story. Clouds breaking up tonight, a beautiful day for us tomorrow, a great day for us on Sunday. Actually, a long dry stretch unfolding into the middle portions of next week. So our forecast ends tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, and check out this low temperature down near 21 for a low with a west breeze around 5, making it feel like upper teens tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow we're going to have partly cloudy skies, high temperatures in the mid-50s or so, so noticeably warmer across our region tomorrow with that north breeze. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows a great-looking weekend, followed by a warmer temperatures Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday night, though, the cold front comes through, a couple of rain showers on Wednesday, and then much cooler temperatures again for Thursday and Friday of next week. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. A wildlife center in Minocqua took in some snapping turtle eggs after an excavator accidentally dug them up. Staff weren't sure the turtles would make it, but today many of them were released to the wild. Due to the colder weather that we've had, Northwoods Wildlife Center wasn't sure if they should be released or if they should be kept them over winter. After discussing it with other rehab facilities, the center waited until there was a stretch of several days of warm weather and let these little guys go. 38 snappers were released. They'll likely be looking for a nice spot to burrow down for the winter. Professional golf is heading to Stevens Point this summer. The U.S. Senior Open Championships are now 265 days away. The tournament will start on June 29th, but preparations are well underway. Outside the ropes of play, the championship has already reached its limit of volunteers that they needed. Early on, they had 500 volunteers sign up for the golf event.
Their mouths kind of fell on the floor. So it was, again, a testament to the community, and they were surprised to see that even at that early stage we had so many people sign up to volunteer. So now capping it, and we're already, we're 8-9 months away. It's unheard of.
More than 2,300 volunteers are already registered, and many more are standing by on the wait list.
It takes a village. It's a collective effort. It's organized chaos, but it's a, certainly a work hard, play hard atmosphere, and we love to work with each other.
The tournament will run various stands of food, including all of the Wisconsin classics like cheese curds, brats, and beer, all to showcase the home state. Tickets are already on sale at Century World website for the event starting June 29th, 2023. Football season is in full swing. If your plans include watching sports, they may also involve junk food. Registered dietitian Kristen Kirkpatrick with the Cleveland Clinic says indulging sometimes is okay, but if you do, prepare for it by eating well the rest of the week or focus on eating less.
To eat all these things, maybe just take a few bites of each and then limit the portion. So still enjoy the things that you really love that you don't want to deprive yourself of. Just have less of it.
Kirkpatrick says if you want healthy alternatives, consider.
You can also focus on healthy alternatives like baking wings with an air fryer, using a dry rub, or sugar-free sauce. You can also make dips with fresh ingredients by swapping out chips for veggies and limit how much alcohol you drink. Overindulging on cocktails could impair your decision-making when it comes to what to eat. Elections are a few weeks away and candidates are squaring off. It's coming up on Newswatch 12. We'll tell you what to expect with tonight's debate.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back. Invest in our own workers and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle-class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Knauf makes reliable and sustainable home insulation in America. We make it with recycled glass and our patented formaldehyde-free bio-based binder. As energy costs continue to rise, Knauf insulation is a smarter product that can lower your home's energy bill. And Menards makes it easy to find the right fiberglass insulation for your project. Stop by your area Menards today and look for eco-friendly Knauf home insulation. Knauf, for the world we live in. Visit Menards for your 11% off today.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
High Point Sand and Gravel provides high-quality riprap, sand, and screened topsoil for almost any need. The high-quality rock and stone, boulders, and clear stone enhance the function and beauty of your home or business. Offering convenient delivery or pickup throughout northern Wisconsin and the UP, High Point Sand and Gravel provides premium landscaping materials, specializing in producing beautiful decorative stone for all types of landscaping projects. Contact High Point Sand and Gravel to help make your next project a dream come true.
Mandela Barnes is spreading a lot more than just peanut butter. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes on his Milwaukee condo, bought with family money. While not paying property taxes, Barnes bought a second condo, went to Vegas, even sat courtside for a Bucks game. Asked about his unpaid taxes, Barnes said,
"It's Juneteenth. Yo, hey, it's Juneteenth. They want to talk about property."
Now Barnes wants to talk about peanut butter. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Tonight, Republican Ron Johnson and Democrat Mandela Barnes will take the debate stage. We'll be airing that live at 7 p.m. We're now less than 5 weeks away from the election day, and polls have Johnson and Barnes in a dead heat. Johnson has been in the Senate the past 12 years. Barnes has been lieutenant governor for the past 4. The debate is hosted by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association. It will be an hour long and again can be viewed right here on Channel 12 starting at 7 p.m. A group of Minnesota farmers came to the aid of one of their own. After a serious accident, one farmer was facing a difficult harvest season. We'll have the latest on how the neighbors came together to help.
Never been worried through the whole thing because the good Lord usually takes care of me one way or the other.
On August 15th, Scott Legred was driving to do some work at a gravel pit when a dog ran into the road. He swerved quickly, lost control, and ended up rolling his truck several times.
Broken right collarbone, punctured and collapsed right lung, 7 broken ribs on the left side.
Those were just some of his injuries. He spent weeks recovering at the Mayo Clinic, but while he was rehabbing, his neighbors were plotting.
After the St. Peter tornado, he was up there. After the flooding in Grand Forks, he was up there and helped.
Fellow farmer Tim Steyer has always admired Scott's willingness to volunteer. So Tim and other farmers decided to do something special for their neighbor. Were you surprised that so many people wanted to step up to help Scott?
No, not a bit. This is farm country. The generosity started right away. Right away.
On Tuesday, neighbors showed up with combines, trucks, and grain carts and made fast work of Scott's soybeans. They harvested about 240 acres in about 4 hours. That would have taken Scott a week to do on his own. What made it even more special is they did the exact same thing for Scott 11 years ago after his dad passed away from cancer.
It's pretty amazing, you know, these people are taking time out of their busy schedule. This is the busy time of the year for us farmers. Patience plays a big part. Faith plays a big part in getting through something like this.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in-store today and get ultimate discounts. Clearance items are up to 78% off. Plus, get a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
We're paying more for food, gas, and rent. But Tony Evers wants to take even more of our money. He tried to raise the gas tax by 20% and double the tax on our heating bills. Evers wanted to use our tax dollars to pay people who refuse to work. And he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to those who entered our country illegally. Evers even opposed drug testing for those getting welfare. We just can't afford 4 more years of Tony Evers.
Look at this beautiful kitchen transformation we did in Kimberly. Terry and Kelly contacted our kitchen tune-up team to make their kitchen dream come true. We not only elevated the look of their cabinetry, but we also added storage and functionality.
The kitchen tune-up team was excellent. We were amazed at the attention to detail and their communication.
We would highly recommend them.
We offered a variety of services to freshen up your space. For amazing results, call Kitchen Tune-Up today.
Sue right, Jake middle, me on the left.
Yeah, I knew I'd win.
Are you saying
What's
something?
really happening over there?
I think you're on mute.
There's no substitute for real gaming fun. Go where fun lives. Old Chunk Gaming Wittenberg.
Punishing inflation, retirement savings evaporating, home values crashing, and Mandela Barnes is oblivious. Barnes just supported a massive tax increase on middle-class families and an army of IRS agents to go get every penny. Barnes also supported Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that cost every taxpayer $2,000. $2,000 less to survive on. Can you afford Mandela Barnes? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store today and get ultimate discounts. Clearance items are up to 78% off. Plus, get a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
We're live at the Hodag Dome all weekend as Newswatch 12 studio is under construction. It's getting a major renovation, so things will look a lot different. We'll be unveiling the new look on our show Monday. I'm very excited for it, Jeff.
It's gonna be so cool. I can't wait. But in the meantime, we're here having a great time. The football game is outside, just behind these walls, of course.
Exactly.
And what a night for football. We're talking about temperatures, game time temperatures hanging out in the low 30s.
Chilly.
Eventual low temperatures hanging out in the low 20s tonight. And a few of us saw some light snow showers early today. Those are now gone. But overall, it's a very chilly day across north central Wisconsin. Here are the temperatures out there now, hanging out near 40 again. Lows in the low 20s tonight. The cloud cover out there now will fall apart tonight. That will give us lots of radiational cooling, which means lots of cool temperatures, and that's going to send temperatures crashing after midnight or so, as we'll have lows in the low 20s. But then looking ahead, this is temporary. Warmer temperatures are on the way. The weekend in the 50s, followed by some 60s, are back in the forecast for early next week.
Looking forward to those 60s, Jeff.
In our new studio.
Oh, that too. Another bonus.